Hi. Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Happy Surprise Friday. Thank you very much for joining us. Those of you who got the message at the last minute. We're really happy to have you here because this is a wonderful conversation that we're about to have with a wonderful woman who's going to tell you about some wonderful plans and some wonderful recent travel that she's been doing and how she's been able to make all of these like new travel plans and new retirement plans in a relatively short period of time. But first, if you're new, welcome to the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, this YouTube channel is for Black women planning or ready to plan their sabbatical or career break, their move abroad, their nomadic life where they bop around the world. We are hosting a virtual summit called Exodus Summit, which is online, October 6th through 9, 2023. We'll tell you more about that later. Tickets are available now, and the link is in the description of this video. And we are, this YouTube channel, this community, this virtual summit is dedicated, committed to getting Black women out the door. I'm Stephanie Perry.
I'm Rashida Dow. Hi.
We have a very special guest today. Hi, Anna.
Hi, ladies. It's so great to see you.
It's so wonderful to talk to you. So Anna is in our community. Anna is in part of the Exodus Summit community. And not too long ago, you shared an update with us that we hadn't gotten from you.
Right.
And we just wanted to talk with you for a little bit. So first, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little introduction.
So I am a Spanish teacher. I live in New Jersey. I have been divorced for quite a long time. I have adult children. And my dream has always been to travel since I took French when I was in high school. And it never happened. And then you marriage and all raising children and then going through divorce and being a single mom. And finally, I would say in 2019, one of my colleagues told me about a master's program in Spain. And so, of course, because I'm thinking of retirement and I'm thinking of ways to increase my salary by having more of education, I looked into it. I couldn't pass up. It was only like $5,000 and included everything. So that was my first step leaving the United States and traveling. But prior to that, no, I think I went there. Then I came back and then I attended your first summit.
Yes, you did.
I did not. First of all, I thought you needed to be rich to travel. I didn't know anything. I didn't know a thing. I learned everything from there, from that first summit I went to. Then I did private coaching with Rashida, and it literally turned my life around. I mean, this is a plug they're not telling me, but I will tell you, if you're still thinking about it, please join the summit. It will truly change your life. These ladies are amazing. And they didn't pay me to say that. I'm just saying.
But we will when this is over.
And we really appreciate it. We appreciate you giving us that credit, okay? Because we want to take the credit. We want to tell. We want the credit.
No, you did. I can't. I couldn't do anything. Yes, burnout plus. Exactly. Hi, Francis.
My coaching program, and Francis was in it too. And now Francis said she's on the 15th month of her sabbatical.
Oh, wow. Yes, I noticed. I remember.
Francis dropped her daughter off in college and said, I guess I'll see you when you graduate, or something that sounds like that. I don't know.
I know. I said, and all I kept saying, my time's coming, Francis. My time is coming, and my time is almost here.
Yes.
So ask away. Let me know what you want to know, and I'll be happy to share.
Well, first, sorry, Steph. The ladies want to know if you're really 60 or over, because they're not believing you.
Yes, I spent 6 weeks in Central and South America to celebrate my 60th. So yes, I just turned 60. I did. Thank God for great genes. That's all I can say. Genetics, God is good. Yes, all of that, But yes, I did. 60. Oh, cute story. The cute story.
Okay.
Cute story though. So this is right after my 60th birthday. I'm in Colombia. I'm going to the Salt Museum. It's a salt museum, and so they have different prices because they have for your seniors 60 and up. So and then if you're Colombian, and then everybody else. So then I said, oh, great. I just turned 60. This is good. I'm saying to myself. So then I go to the register. Oh, so I'm going to be purchasing a ticket for 60. She says, no, you're not. No, you're not. I said,
You're
no,
paying
but
full
I am. I had no, but I am. She said, oh, no, you have to show me ID. Do you know she took out the calculator and made sure I was cracking up.
Love it.
I said, well, thank you. But yes, I am 60.
Can I ask you a few questions about how you don't look 60? I really do have some questions. Are you by chance vegan or vegetarian, or can I keep eating meat? You eat the meat?
I do limit meat, but I do intermittent. I'm a firm believer of intermittent fasting.
All right.
That is something that works. It's hard to get into, but do it little by little, but it does work. And so, I lost like 30 or 40 pounds, probably maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And that was because I didn't know I was carbohydrate intolerant. So because I was a vegan, I was vegetarian then. And the nutritionist says, yeah, that's not working for you. She said, no, that may work for other people, but it doesn't work for you. So she said, you have to eat protein. So I eat more fish, turkey, chicken. But yeah, I'm one of those people. I eat a lot of the same food all the time. So I'm pretty easy when it comes to that. But yes, but intermittent fasting is what did it. Mm-hmm.
You could have said anything except intermittent fasting, and
I'm sorry.
But if it's got fasting in the name, I don't want it. So like, I'm like, what else? What are the other tips? How much water? What else can I do to get like a fraction of what you got?
I would say that, and just really watching what you eat. I tend, and I will say this, I tend to lose weight traveling because I'm sorry, they put some in the food here.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because the food is just unbelievable. And I eat fried food. When I was in Spain, I was eating fried food all the time, and I came back 12 pounds lighter. Explain that. So yeah.
So okay, so talking about Spain, you went to Spain, and then
I went to Spain twice. I went to Spain in 19, and I went to Spain in 22. And 22 became my first solo trip.
Okay.
That was your first solo trip? I didn't know that.
I had traveled, but not necessarily solo, like with my daughter. But I literally, so one of my friend teachers who was traveling, we went to Valencia, and she says, okay, now I'm leaving you. And I started crying because I said, what am I going to do? I was scared out of my wits. I'm like, you're going to look like this desperate old lady, traveling by herself. And then call me, and then I call myself staying in the hostels with young people.
Did you?
Yes, that's where I stay in. Most of the time I stay in hostels.
How was that experience for you?
So I really enjoyed. I really met some great people. I hang around with the 20-year-olds because they think I'm like 40. Oh, I had this Scandinavian guy who's absolutely gorgeous. He tried to hit on me, and I said, okay, how am I going to drop it on this? That, we can't be doing that. So I said, and this was over 59, and he was like 28. I said, oh no.
What? He's legal. What's the problem?
Yeah, but no. See, I got kids that age, and that's what I think. I don't want nobody doing that to my children. That's my thing. So
you see how women are always giving up their own pleasure for their children, even when their children are grown.
Yes, we do.
It's time to stop sacrificing.
We do.
And get you a beautiful man if that's what you want.
Yes, he was beautiful. I will say.
In hostels, did you stay in private rooms, or did you ever stay in dorm rooms in hostels?
I always stay in dorm rooms. So I stay no more than 4 is max.
Okay.
4 is max, I would say. And what I learned, do not stay in all females because they are a hot mess. They are. I'm sorry.
In what way?
First of all, they're nasty in the sense that they don't clean up after themselves. I think it's because it's all women. I'm talking about pads being left on the sink, things like that. That's what I mean. Used pads. Let me just say that. Sanitary pads, let me be more specific. But, and they really don't mingle as much with you. But when it's mixed, they have no problem. I mean, I hung out with this young guy from Switzerland, And then with her and then hanging out with him, we met this young girl from Argentina. So yes, I mean, we went, hey, let's start talking. We start talking, then we start sharing, and we have lunch. And they say, let's grab lunch. And then we start hanging out and said, oh, you want to do this? Oh yeah, you want to do this? And guys will do that. And that's what my friend told me. She said, you always want to stay in mixed hostels because guys will invite you where girls will not. I don't know what it is, but that's been my experience. And I'm the old lady, so, it's easy. But it's usually the guys that invite me places. It's not even the young guys.
What about the snoring? Okay, so I'm a dorm room. I have been a dorm room person myself. And the reason I stay in all female rooms is that men snore and I can't deal with it. I can't take it. I can't take it. I think I probably snore too, but listen, I don't have to listen to it.
I know I snore because my daughter has told me. So my son told me to get these clips and they really have helped. And so I don't never, because I did get the complaint the first time I stayed in a hostel in Spain. They're like, did you go drinking a lot last night? Because you were snoring up a storm. So, but once I sleep. But there's headphones, there's plugs, but again, I don't stay, but I don't know, I haven't had that issue with the snoring. But then again, because I know who am I going to do to complain about snoring? Let's be for real. So,
and I want to talk about this because we don't talk about this all that much because Rashida will.
I know.
Because I remember not stayed at a hostel. I don't mean I will not. I just have not.
Okay, I beg your pardon.
So I have stayed. So my criteria is I don't stay on anything under a 9.
Yes,
that's my criteria.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, a 9. There's a scale somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's a scale. There's a scale on Hostel World. It's from 10 to 1. It's from 10 to 1, 10 to 2. So I won't stay on anything less than a 9. I read the reviews to make sure that it's not a party because I'm not into the party scene, plus not their version of party at my age. So that's how I maintain by sleeping and resting. So I kind of read the different reviews and then I see what's the age group of the people that are staying there.
Okay.
Like if my age group is not in there, I may choose to get, and my age group is 41 and up. So that's the age group. That's all they say. Okay. So, but I actually, the only bad experience I had was probably, I would say the one most recently in Costa Rica. And not that it was bad. It was that, so the drain was not covered. So you have bugs coming, like flies and stuff like that. And that was the only thing, but I would close the door. That was the only thing. And it was like an older home, older house. And so it was wood floors and you can hear, they must have had like young kids staying there because you can hear the noise, even though it was high ceilings. But that was basically it. I'm very fortunate. I have never had. Now I have stayed in also in Airbnbs and I have stayed in hotels. But when you're on a budget and you want to do things and you're just sleeping there. That's what I say to myself. I'm just sleeping there. Yeah. And now I've been fortunate. The one in Costa Rica was, I think it was $14 a night, and I had my own room and my own bathroom.
Okay.
The one in Cuenca, Ecuador, it was $8 a night, I think, 8 or 9 a night. And it's 3 beds in the bathroom, but nobody showed up. So I had the whole thing to myself all 5 days. Good. So it worked out well. Yeah. The only time I had consistent change was always in Europe because it's Europe, people are traveling, but it's always been a positive experience. I cannot say up to this point, it has not been a negative experience. Good. If you want to stay by yourself, I think you have that option. The only option is you don't meet as many people. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. So if you're trying to meet people, that's why it's nice to stay in mixed hostels. That's my suggestion.
Yeah. So when you get to when you're in a hostel, especially when you're in a dorm room, like Anna's saying, people are there and they're automatically telling you what they did today, what they're going to do tomorrow. It's not all. It's not like, how do I get myself invited? Right.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
For days, and I would like some company. There's zero effort involved. Like seriously.
No, there is no effort.
They say, I'm going here. Do you want to come? especially
Yes.
if they're Dutch. They will take you wherever you want, wherever
Yes, they
they're
will.
going. They will drag you.
Yes, they will. Yes,
Yeah.
they will. So it's been a great experience. That's all I stayed when I was in Spain, except when I went to Mallorca and I stayed in a hotel.
Okay.
And it was beautiful, but it was lonely. But it was beautiful because it overlooked the water. So it was absolutely gorgeous. But that was my gift to myself for my birthday last year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you've done a couple of a couple of like big birthday trips. So Mallorca
Yes.
last year and this
Yes.
year, Colombia.
Yes. It was my 59th, and then this year was my 60th, 6 weeks, and it was. I got on the plane a lot because Central and South America, if you want to see a lot, you have to get on the plane a lot because it's not like the transportation in Europe, because public transportation is much better. So I would say that. But the benefit of all those places, I was able to hire a driver.
Nice.
Every day.
In which countries?
All of them.
All of them? Okay.
All of them.
You went to tell us where you went. You went to Colombia.
I started in Quito, Ecuador. From there, I went to Cuenca, Ecuador. From there, I went to Panama City. Oh, not in Panama City, because I'll tell you that story. Panama City in Panama. Then from there, I went to San Jose, Costa Rica. And from there, I went to Colombia. I went to Cartagena, Bogota, Bucaramanga. I went to the coffee region, and and Medellin.
You covered Colombia. You covered it all.
Yeah, I did.
And the way that Spanish accent came out.
Oh, it was perfect.
The way you hit that real quick. Oh.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I spoke Spanish the whole time, which was really nice. But yes, I would negotiate. This is the funny thing, and I do not recommend this, but this is what I did. So my first trip, I get off the plane in Quito. Now, mind you, the only thing I planned was where I'm staying and my airfare. That's it. I didn't plan anything else. Okay. So I come out and I'm like, how am I going to get to my place? Take a bus. That's what I said. I take a bus because that's what I had read, because I did do a lot of research, and they said, just take a bus. I said, okay. So I come out, everybody's trying to sell you something. So this woman comes up to me and she says, well, where are you going? And I said, well, because she's selling. I said, oh, well, I'm going, and I didn't know it's El Centro, the center part of Quito. She says, oh, well, we have a bus that will take you to this stop. And at this stop, you'll pick up a private driver that will drive you to the location that you're going to, that will leave you at there. I said, well, what's this going to run me? She said, $13. I said, okay. I said, so I did. So then after meeting the driver, I got a good vibe. And I said, look, I want to do a business proposition here. I said, I want to get to know Quito, and I don't want to do the tourist thing. And I hired him at $8 an hour. Yeah, $8 an hour. Mm-hmm. Nice. And it was great. So he took me wherever. I went to Otavalo, which is another city, which was an indigenous known for their market there. He took me there. He would wait for me. We would have lunch together. He would take me. It was great. It was, and he would tell me, so it was nice because all the places I went to, locals took me.
That's really cool. Follow-up question for you.
Yes.
With your excellent Spanish, where do people think you were a local?
They didn't think I was, they didn't think I was American, but they said you speak Spanish differently. So Ecuadorians really couldn't tell where I was from because, so I would say they probably thought, but it's the norm. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, that's usually, they never think Colombia. I mean, they never think Cuba. They never think Cuba because that's where my family's from. My family's from Cuba. But they never think Cuba. So it's usually Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. Okay. So, you speak Spanish so well. I'm like, yeah. So where did you learn the Spanish? So my new saying is from the crib. That's my new saying now. Because I'm tired of saying from the crib. Yeah, from the crib. That was my first language. I learned English second. But you would never know that because you would never know that because definitely my English is still stronger than my Spanish. It's gotten better since I've done my master's and been in Spain and traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's awesome. That's
So you-
awesome. I know that in some of these countries, like I was getting like my first day in Cartagena, people were asking me for directions, and I was like, "Look at this."
yes, well, because you look like it, because that's what that's what we are, the norm there.
Yes. Now I have to be like, baby, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here 13 minutes, but okay. Yeah.
Yes, because it's so funny because in Cartagena, they speak like Caribbeans. Like they speak like Cubans and Dominicans. And the rest of Colombia says they cannot understand them. I understood them perfectly because I'm like, yeah, you sound like my people. You sound like Caribbeans, So yeah, that was very interesting. So, but yes, it was so funny because when I travel, I usually do braids. And I said to my sister, why do they talk to me in English? I said, because you're wearing braids. Locals don't wear braids. That's why.
You got that black girl vacation hair.
Right. Exactly. That's called not doing your hair for 6 weeks. It was wonderful.
So you went from like crying when you were thrown into your first solo trip. I'm just spend the summer bopping around Central and South America like a pro.
But I was crying when I was in Granada. From there, I went to like 4 other places when I was in Spain. Okay. I went to Mallorca and I went to Granada. And then I just said, you can do this. That's what I had to tell myself. You can do this. Yeah. You're sociable. You're friendly. You can do this. And that's what I had to keep telling myself. I didn't have to do that I felt like very comfortable. Like I felt like I fit in, and maybe it was because I spoke the language, and that could have been it, because I felt that it was just easy for me to just really mesh with everybody. I was at a restaurant in Quito the first night, and I'm eating by myself, and I see these 2 ladies come in, and I know that they're drinking something like a yellowish, creamy-ish drink, but it's hot. So I just said, I said, oh, hello, in Spanish. I said, may I ask, what are you drinking? And they said, oh, it's this. They called the waiter. The waiter got a glass and poured some of that before they drank it so I can taste it. But the Ecuadorians are the nicest people I have ever met. Okay. Extremely friendly. Yes.
Yeah, so we know Deborah Valerie, I think, who I think is in Cuenca, Ecuador, I think. But we don't hear
Deborah, the one over 60.
Yes.
She's in Manta. She's on the coast.
Okay.
Yeah, she's in Manta. I wanted to get there, but I just couldn't. The bus ride was just too long, and I said no.
Was it?
Yeah, from where I was, because I wanted to get there because I wanted to see that. But I just said, no, it was too long.
That's been my question about Ecuador. How are you treated, right? How are you treated?
Very well.
Good.
Very well. Very well. Every place I went, I was treated well. I was surprised that there was that many people of color in San Jose, Costa Rica, because I thought that everybody was like white, Caucasian, or white Hispanics. And so I was shocked at the many that I saw. Yeah. And but yes, it is I was treated very well. I didn't have any issues at all. None whatsoever.
Good. Do you now, you don't look like a woman who's over 60, but you've been to places that are known for being really good to people over 60, right? In the US, when you're a senior, they're like, whatever, go
right.
Right. But it's been my experience traveling with my mom, and Rashida travels with her mom. It's been our experiences that people go out of their way to take good care of women over 60. Maybe you might need to do some aging before you.
That's okay. That's okay. No. We're not going to do that just yet.
But
we can take our time.
But you're in places where there is an extra effort to take good care of people over 60, like Panama. So did you get to take advantage of any of the Panama discounts? Panama has a whole bunch of discounts for women.
I did not like Panama. Okay.
You didn't like Panama? How long were you there?
5-6 days.
Okay.
That's how long I was kind of everywhere because I was bopping all around.
Okay.
Out of all the places, I liked the food the least. Not that it was bad, but I liked it the least compared to the other places. It was my least favorite. It was just different. I mean, first of all, I did not like Panama City. It was extremely hot. But people say, well, you weren't Cartagena. Yes, but it was just uncomfortably hot.
Okay.
It was just uncomfortably hot that's what I would say.
Okay.
I was fortunate that when I'm at the airport heading to Panama, I hit up one of my former colleagues who's Panamanian, who teaches Spanish in Alabama. And I said, hey, by the way, I'm in your country. And she says, you're kidding. I just got here too. So she ended up taking me around. So that's how come I had a different experience. Okay. So my experience, but I mean, that's why I didn't like it's the heat. I just didn't like I could not. And then they said, well, because I did write that in the Facebook group for the 60 and over. Because I did get the height when you get, I can't think of the word, help me here.
Altitude sickness?
Altitude sickness.
Okay.
But my daughter said, Mom, and that's true, I was on the plane 15 times in 6 weeks. So that could be what caused the altitude. So I had said, because I thought it was just, I can't handle altitude. And I said, no, but when I went to Ecuador, I was fine because that was my first stop. And Ecuador, I believe, is even higher than where I was in Colombia.
Okay.
So it wasn't that. So, but it was just, to me, it was just overly hot. I wasn't overly impressed with the food. It was good, but I wasn't, compared to the other countries, it was just, to me, it was my fourth favorite.
Isn't Colombia the country where people say you have to bring your own spices?
Okay, so this is what I want to know. I was confused when I heard that because, okay, so I did, I've been to Mexico. I also went to Mexico. I forgot, see? Not on this trip, but I went during my spring break. I went to the city of Mexico and I went to San Miguel de Allende.
Our favorite.
And they're saying, but the food. I said, okay. They say, the food's well seasoned. So of course I'm hearing, the food is bland. I don't know where they ate because to me, the food was very well seasoned everywhere I went. Okay. But then again, maybe I'm comparing it to Cuban food. I mean, to Dominican, but no, Dominican food, to me, out of the Caribbean, I think Dominican food to me is the most flavorful. But I just found it really, really good. But that's me. But maybe because my palate is accustomed to that, could be. But my daughter found it very good. I mean, that's the place you go eat. I mean, the food is just amazing.
It just dawned on me that food in Cartagena reminded me of food in Colombia. I never connected those two. And I'm sorry, food in Cartagena reminded me of food in Cuba. And I never connected those. Why that was before,
yes.
Together, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. So this was your last summer as a working person who gets summers off. Mm-hmm. Yes, you made the most of it. I mean, you squeezed everything you could out of that summer, right?
Yes. I'm super excited. So since the first summit, I have learned to become a minimalist. I got out of debt. I made sure that I started being more aggressive in my savings and my investing and of course, I'm not no big investor. I'm just saying, but things I started doing, making sure I have no debt. I'm totally debt free. I don't own a home, so I'm renting. And so I am moving out of my apartment on May 31st. That's my lease is finished. So then school is out at the end of, mid-June. So I'm going to stay with a girlfriend for about 3 weeks. And so I'm getting rid of everything because nothing I have here I'm keeping. So I have a girlfriend, one of my best girlfriends. She lives in North Carolina. And so the things that I'm keeping, I'm putting in her attic, and I'm shipping it. And she just told me, instead of paying for shipping, you can put it on a Greyhound bus and I did not know that. And so I'm going to do that. Like mainly the things that my kids want, like photo albums and Christmas tree ornaments. So when they get to their place. But yes, I'm going to be living out of a suitcase.
That's amazing. So what a big change. I want to talk about your plans first. I mean, talk about your plans in a second. Rashida will be right back. But
Okay.
what was, so you said your dream was always to travel, but how did you go from I want to do it to I'm doing it? What was in your,
You guys, I'm not, it was you showed me that it was possible. I didn't even think it was possible. I thought you had to have money.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be rich.
Yeah.
And when I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? You can do this? And I'm seeing all of these people saying that they moved here and they do this and this is what they're living. And when I look, because part of this trip also, I was kind of seeing if any of these places was where I wanted to move to long term.
Right.
So, make it my final home. And I don't think I still think Portugal is still my number one choice. That's
okay.
I fell in love with Portugal when I went there.
Oh.
But, so that was part. And when I was talking to my drivers, that was part of the thing. I was asking them, what is it going to cost me to live here? And they're saying $1,000 a month includes a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, high rise overlooking the park, includes everything for $1,000 a month. I'm like, are you kidding me? Listen, I'm like, there's a Cuban saying, which doesn't make sense too much in English, but there's a Cuban. So I'm just saying, it's like, we need to stop eating poop because that's what we're doing. I'm eating poop. Because it's just, wow. People talking about retire. I would not have been able to retire had it not been for you ladies who told me that it was possible through your summit that I was able to do this, because I didn't know I could.
You came to the first summit, I think. You were
the very first summit. Mm-hmm. The very first summit is when I came to. That I found you guys, my accent. I'm like, what is it? Oh no, I got to sign up. Yes. And then I remember, I'm sorry.
How did you find us that first year?
I was just searching. And I think you just popped up on either Facebook. No, it wasn't Instagram, because I don't think I was on Instagram that much. It might have been in Facebook or Instagram, and you showed up and I said, wait a minute, let me look at this. And at first I signed up for the general admission, the general one. And then they kept saying advertise. Well, if you sign up, you can get this. I said, oh, wait a minute, let me just upgrade right now. And I upgraded, and it was the best. It was truly, and I mean this in the bottom of my heart, it was your summit that made what I'm doing possible. Yes, I had the dream, but I did not know how to do it.
Yeah. We bring in speakers every year, friends, to give you the tools you need to work out a plan. Mm-hmm. A lot of us have a dream for something. I had a dream, right, to travel full time, and I thought like you, Anna, I thought that you needed a trust fund. I was like, yes, can afford to do this, right?
Right.
We bring in speakers every year who give you the tools to make your own plan, to make things work out for you, not Anna's plan, not Stephanie's or Rashida's plan, but your own plan.
Right.
Anna's plan is different from the way we traveled. Anna's moving in a different way, but the summit speakers come in to get you your plan together.
Correct. And it truly was. I mean, I remember when you said house sitting, and I thought about that, and I did some house sitting. I said, I don't want to water a plant. Okay. I don't want to do anything. I said, so that's not going to be for me. So I said, well, let me look into hostels. And because somebody, like I said, my teacher friend told me about it, and I'm like, oh, this is not so bad. Found that, and then I started looking into people over, who were retiring and seeing them, that how they were doing, and I'm like, oh, I can do this. But you guys were the ones that you opened my eyes and said it was possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm really appreciative of that. I hope we've opened up a few more eyes. We have some more people joining us for the first time this year, because it's going to be this summit. Every year I say this one's the best one, and every year I'm right.
It is, yeah.
It's the best one. So I'm super excited about that. Stepping away for a minute, but there was a lot of movement in the backyard.
What was?
And I'm a city girl, so I was like, obviously someone's trying to come kill me. It's a deer right outside the door. It's a deer, but it's a constant reminder that when you step out of the place you are, you're going to experience new things. The deer was staring at me through it's a glass door, staring at me through the glass door, what are you doing in there? Yes. Why are you reminding me? And I'm like, you eating the garden, dog. You don't belong here. I'm not used to wildlife just being like, I mean, the deer said hi.
In your face.
Oh, yes.
What are you doing? Staring at me like,
yes.
It's just a new experience and living the life Anna lived over the summer, and Anita is living right now, and so many Tracy's living now in Mexico City. And her dog is living. The life Tracy's dog is living right now is a constant life of new experiences. And I will say, outside of the US, there are definitely more good ones than bad ones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
When you free yourself of the shackles of the US, you will have some really amazing experiences. Even if it's just a deer showing up, like, girl, what are we doing?
He said, do you have any fruit? There's vegetables out here, but where the fruit at?
Where the sweet stuff? What's going on?
You want to come join me? That's what he said. You want to come join me?
Yeah, Rashida's in Canada right now visiting.
Oh, what part?
On Vancouver Island. So
that's also a place I wanted to visit in Vancouver.
Okay.
Do you recommend it?
I recommend Vancouver, the city. Vancouver Island is challenging. It's hard to get to. It's hard. It's it's not the easiest place to get to.
Okay.
I've been here for over a week. Yeah. I've seen 20 Black people because we count.
You count them?
We count the Black people.
Yes.
How many of them have spoken to me?
Oh, really? It's like that?
I don't know. It's real.
Isn't that where Harry and Meghan were living at one time? I think wasn't that the island?
I don't know.
They were. I'm not saying that they're. No, I think they're in California now, but I think that's where they were. That's where they kind of skedaddled to.
I don't know. All I know is they don't speak to me.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a lot. Since I went to the concert, I saw a lot of Black people come from Beyonce concert. I don't know where they came from. They were there. Now their Black people are speaking to me. And I'm like, you're not from around here. You're not from around here. I ran into someone I know who lives in New York.
Oh, that's why.
We walked in. I saw her. Crazy. And I know some people who watch this channel were there too. But yeah, it's. I don't think I could ever choose to live in a place where, not again, where like I was a minority in a place where minorities weren't like running to each other with open arms.
Right.
Like living in Mexico City, I might not see a Black person every day. And not every Black person is going to speak to me when I see them. But I would say like 85% will, right? Mm-hmm. And to live in a place where it's like, I've seen 20 and maybe one said hi, it's not enough for me.
Okay.
Not enough. Yeah.
That's good. It's good to know, right? It's good to know what your yeses and your nos are.
Right. It's true.
When you don't get to explore enough, you don't know yet. You don't know.
You don't.
Yeah.
And you have to, even when you hear different things, you really have to experience it for yourself. Mm-hmm. Because everyone is truly not going to have the same experience. Mm-hmm. You're going to, because you're bringing yourself there. So you just have to have an open mind and just go from there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead.
I was gonna say, whatever things that you've experienced, like the deer, whatever things that you've experienced in your adventures that you wouldn't have experienced in the US. Is there anything that comes to mind?
I would say, I'm just saying the people a lot. They're just the people. The people are just, they accept you for who you are. Mm-hmm. I don't feel that this is judged as much. If it is, I don't sense it. They see you as a person. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're a person, and I would say that, those are the things. One of the things that I really enjoyed was my trip in Ecuador was going to the equator and doing all of those experiments on the equator and seeing how weather really how it's affected, and how that was like fascinating for me, because even though I wasn't into the sciences, I was into biology, but the other science I found boring. That was interesting. So, but I would say the people, the food, just the opportunity just to see the beauty and the hospitality for me, and the overall quality of life. Mm-hmm. That's really important for just the quality of life, being able to live very differently and being able to enjoy life. Now, there are going to be sacrifices. There's certain things you are going to give up living in the States. That's just, but you have to see the bigger picture, and you have to see all of the positives that you're gaining. Because of course, there's certain luxuries that we have here that we don't even know they're luxuries until you go somewhere else. I'm like, oh, that's a luxury. Like toilet paper is a luxury, and I mean by the quality of the toilet paper.
Quality, being able to flush the toilet.
And no one ever told me that you can't flush the toilet with toilet paper once you go Mexico South. Nobody ever told me that. So I learned that. So those are things. But I would say other than that, no, I mean, the food, amazing. The food that's for me, because I'm concerned about my quality of life. As a single woman, I'm concerned about my quality of life. And I know what we put in our body is what's going to determine your longevity. And part of wanting to leave is for health, is because I want to continue having a healthy lifestyle and put good quality nutrition in my body, and not having a lot of the stuff that we allow here, but one thing I will say that stands up, and this of course has to do with food. I was in Spain my first year, and I went to the market, and I purchased some green bananas, like regular bananas that are non-ripe, not plantains or anything like that. They were green, like green. And I'm like, oh, I bought them. I'm like, oh, yeah, so I'm thinking the States, it's going to take a week.
Girl.
The second day, they were rotten.
That's fruit.
I was like, what? That's when I'm like, what?
Every time I buy my stack of berries from the grocery store,
you better eat them.
Those raspberries, I got a solid 4 hours.
Yes.
In the fridge.
Yes.
I'm throwing out so much stuff out. And I'm trying to buy stuff the right amount, but it's hard. Because literally, if I forget to eat it the first day.
Right. That's it. Honestly, that's it. I've never tasted bananas. The bananas to me, they're the white and they don't have much flavor. I was in Colombia and I'm like, what? This is what a banana is supposed to taste like? What? For me, I did learn some interesting facts. Okay. So I learned that the Swiss chocolate from Switzerland, the infamous, comes from Ecuador.
Really?
Yes, I learned that. But they sell it.
Do they like the cocoa comes from Ecuador and they manufacture it in Switzerland? Okay.
I learned that the Panamanian hat is made in Ecuador. It's actually, but I'm like, what? Yeah. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. I learned a lot about the culture. The culture of the people, they don't believe. So we got into these discussions about kids leaving home and being on their own. They said, oh, that's the American way.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't do that. Your kids, you throw your kids out. I said, no. And then one of the things I got into this conversation, this is what I love talking with 20-year-olds. I got into this conversation. I said, I understand that you may feel that way. However, if you never have the opportunity, if you only go from living in your home to living with somebody, you never discover who you are. And they understood then why it was important to have that. So, I got to have conversations like that, just those kinds of conversations. But had a great time.
With the 20-somethings. It's nice to have friends. It's nice to, friends. I'll say friends. It's nice to have friends in different generations.
Yes.
They have really different perspectives.
And now I follow them on Instagram. We follow each other. It's like, that's like, oh yeah, here's my Insta. Yeah, sure. Here's my Insta, my IG, whatever they call it. So, so that's what we did. So we follow, there was the guy that I met in Valencia, in Valencia, he was from Amsterdam. He was in Amsterdam and he was in Colombia, but he kept arriving and I kept leaving. So it was so funny. I kept telling him, okay, this is where you need to go. I was just there. You got to check out this place, check out that place. He's like, okay, if you go there, check out this place. And it was really, really nice.
How tech savvy were you before? Were you using WhatsApp before you left?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I teach a lot through technology. The pandemic changed us teachers a lot. We became pretty savvy. But yes, I am. I'm WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook. Yes, I'm very much into the tech.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Post this job,
Yes.
is there a location on the map you want to be?
So initially, I was thinking about, I fell in love with Portugal. I absolutely, from day one that I went there in 2019, I said, this is it. And it's still, I had nothing else has caught my attention the way Portugal has. But there's a lot of places I want to go.
Yeah.
And so why do I have to settle in one place right now?
Yeah.
Why can't I just, I remember you gave Rashida, you gave us in the coaching where we have by continent and place all the countries. And so that's what I'm going to do. Like there's countries I want to go in Asia. So I want to do South Korea. I want to do Thailand. I want to do Bali. I want to do Singapore. So that's kind of what I want to do. And then and because of the whole Shenzhen law, I can go 3 months, spend there, then leave and go somewhere else. 3 months. And then, yeah, so that's kind of what, so I plan on doing that for I'm thinking at least 2 years until and then I'll start deciding if I'm going to work, if I want to do something, if I want to start a business. Who knows? Maybe this has opened opportunity for me. You've opened exploring my horizons. You say, oh, maybe this is something, talking, sharing, because I don't think there's enough of us out there talking, my age group talking about it. Because we don't think, it's so interesting when I was traveling with so many of those young people, they would say, I wish my mother was doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. I got to warn you, Anna.
Yes.
There's a woman named Anita in the comments.
Yes.
Goes by Global Granny.
Uh-huh.
She won't try to get you out in the streets. It's not her first comment. I think like 20 minutes ago, she was like, let's hang out. She gonna have you in like 16 countries, 6 days.
No, I can't do that. That I learned my lesson. I gotta slow down.
I'm saying if you hit the streets with Anita, you never going back home.
Okay, well, we definitely have to get together, Anita. Global Granny, we're gonna get together. We definitely gotta meet up. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
She tried to get my mama.
She did. Herman down, all out in the world.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but maybe fortunately, I don't know. There is a contingent of women your age and older. I think Anita said she's 65, who are starting to live life now, life on their terms now, right? And I'm so happy for them because I think a lot of women like you never thought it was going to happen.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And so having this opportunity to go out there and do the things you've wanted to do since you were young, see the places you wanted to see is amazing. And I'm telling you, these women are Exodus Summit women. These women are out there and they are trying to do the new things. And Anita is trying to corrupt all of you. You're stressing me out.
That's okay. Go corrupt, Anita. Go ahead.
You say that now, Annie. Your kids are gonna be like,
where are you?
Right. And who are you with? Speaking of which, my mom is like, my mom spent the last 2 days in Doha. Now she's like, it has my heart. I think I want to live here. You just moved to Mexico last a year ago. You just moved to Mexico. Now you want to move somewhere else? Sit down.
This is why, Anna, I think you're doing, so there's no right or wrong, but I do think you're doing it right. Okay. I think being free, bopping around.
Yes, I think that's important.
Yeah.
I think slow travel. I remember that from the first summit. That was a big thing that stuck with me, was slow travel. And first of all, especially if you're watching your money and if, and it's just better that way. You get to have more of a feel for the place. I just went because I wanted to know if I wanted to go back, and I want to go back to all the places I went to and spend more time there. But that's one of the things. But slow travel, that's something I definitely want to do. So I'm going back to Colombia because I am going to go do some beauty regimens.
Okay.
But yes.
Wait for me.
No surgical, but things that are outrageously expensive. So let me just begin with this. I go for a pedicure, manicure for $7. Let's start with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Both
Then
for $7 each.
no.
$7 for the two of them.
Yes.
Okay. What we're talking about Cartagena, or we're talking about a different city?
No, we're talking about Bogota.
Oh, I love Bogota.
And in Medellin too. In the Medellin, they came to my house. They come to you.
Listen,
yeah, because most of them they come to you. They come to your. I mean, it's so I befriended the woman at the Airbnb, and she's like, "Oh, she's coming over to do my petty and mani. You want to join? Absolutely." She's like, "Oh, it's gonna be I think she said what 20. I think it was 25, 20 Colombians or something like that." And I said, okay, let me calculate. It was $12 for her coming to the house for petty and mani. So I wanted to get that. I do have some wrinkles. I know not a lot, but I do have a couple of lines here and there that I want to smooth out. And so I looked into the PRP. I don't know if you're familiar with the PRP facial, the vampire facial.
Vampire facial, yeah.
So, I don't know, but it's outrageous here. I went, I looked, and the prices were outrageous. Well, I found a woman who's certified for $82 for all sessions.
Wait, $82 for all sessions? For
all sessions. She said, I think it's like 3 sessions. 3.
Okay, Aurora says the PRP is a good choice.
Yes.
Y'all, we have a new Black lady skin esthetician lady in Mexico. She was just telling me about PRP facial.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that then I have my eyebrows microbladed, and it's I got them done in 2019. I mean, I got a good deal here because of the pandemic. Nobody was going, so I got a great deal. But now it's like $300 more than what I paid. So I need them touched up, and so I asked her how much that. She says $82. I said, okay, so I'm gonna get that, and then so right before I went to Cartagena, I got my first Brazilian. It's like, oh my gosh, what an experience. So I got my eyebrows waxed, my lip, my chin, underarms, the Brazilian, and the legs for $33. Now you tell me why I wouldn't be flying out there to go get that's that's what I say. I'm going right back down there and getting all my beauty regimen done. That's going to be my first step, by the way. I already found a place to stay.
My calculator is looking at you like, is she lying?
I could not believe it. Yes. I'm like, what? I kept doing this. I kept doing the XE app. I'm like, no.
Yes. Do it again. Convert this the right way. Let me convert.
Oh my gosh. So yes, I'm going to Colombia to get some of that stuff done.
Okay.
So that's going to be my first stop on my retirement.
Okay.
So I'm going to go there. I'm going to probably be down there like 3 months. I'm going to be renting a townhouse from a family friend. No, from a friend from the family of a friend. And I'm going to be able to rent the townhouse. It'll run me with everything $500. So I'm like, okay. So, and then the ladies at the corner, so I'll be able to get all that. And then probably from there, I think I want to fly to Lima, because I heard Lima, Peru has amazing cuisine. So I love the Peruvian cuisine. So I definitely want to go. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be my first stop. And then I'll probably be there. And then I think I'm probably going to head to Europe for the 3 months. And then from there, go out and probably hit Asia.
All right.
That's kind of
life.
So my
whole life.
Yes. Okay. My birthday. I don't pull out my calendar. Okay. So my birthday is July 5th. I'll be available.
You're July 5th. You're July 5th. I'm the 15th.
Okay. We're gonna do our PRP facials together. Okay. Don't leave me behind. Okay. Okay. It's the plasma. They also the Paulina Poroskova, right? She's been sharing hers on Instagram, and it's the plasma.
Yes, it's the plasma. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna do them together. Okay. I'm available. Okay.
So yeah, right. I'm amazed. I'm just amazed at the. That's all I could say. I'm like, what am I doing here? Let me go. I need to go travel and get all the things that I want to get done.
Yeah. Okay. What do your kids think about this new traveling you?
They are so supportive. They said, "Mom, it's your time. Yeah. You have raised us. You have sacrificed for us." They're super excited. They're super supportive. It does, and both of them are in love. So that, so that's even better.
They got stuff to do that don't involve you.
But my daughter, because of you and because you taught, training me, I trained my daughter and she's been traveling. So she did remote. I told her, I went, Libria.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I told her about her and I'm like, she does remote and you need to follow. And she started doing remote and she's been traveling. She's been in Mexico. She's become fluent in Spanish because before she understood it, but she actually is fluent now. So she's been to Mexico and she went to Chile. She's been to Colombia. She's been Italy, France, Dominican Republic, Canada. She's just been going everywhere. And she's getting ready to go to Costa Rica now for 3 months.
Oh, good. Oh, that's cool. For anyone who doesn't know, Libria Jones is the queen of remote work. She spoke at our first summit.
Yes.
Our third summit. And she's back for our fourth summit to talk to people about using the existing AI tools to get the job. Like if they can give you a step up, take that step up if you're looking for remote work. So we're going to be talking about using AI tools to get remote jobs, and Libria knows what she's doing. And so I'm very excited for anyone who's looking for a remote job at the opportunity to hear Libria speak and give you the tips you need to make it happen, because our speakers aren't people who come in and say, well, I did it, so you can do it too. There are people who come in and say, well, I did it, and here's how I did it, right? And that's how Anna from a first summit, right, and not solo traveling, is now bopping around the globe doing her thing as part of the Exodus Summit community. We love that.
We love it. We love it. We love it. That's amazing. So I think, so I want to talk about you retiring, because have you been separate, aside from retiring to travel full time, aside from retiring to travel, would you be retiring next year if you had not started this new travel? Would you are you
I was gonna wait till I was 62.
Okay.
So what happened is so I have I kind of have issues with my feet because I'm severely flat-footed, and I said I do too much walking for that school. I'm do that walking for me. So I'm gonna do what I want to do. So that was what I could have retired this year, but I wanted to. I kind of had to line things up. I wanted to finalize some things, and I was doing this trip and all of that. So I knew that this was it. But I probably, retirement would have probably been 65, 67 if I had never attended the summit, because I wouldn't have known none of this. First of all, I would not have. Yes, I would have, and probably would have still had to keep working, doing something else, because what would have been my life? And how can I say this? Also, this showed me that having a partner is a wonderful thing, but financial should not be the reason to get a partner. And that's what I also learned of this. It's taught me I don't have to rely on a partner to be able to do the life that I want to live. I mean, do I want a partner? Yes. Am I looking for one? No. I'm not. My focus is traveling. If I meet him while I'm traveling, great. But that's not my. But I thought that I would have had to be in a partnership for financially to be able to support. But I would have worked till 67. That's full retirement here for Social Security. So I would have had another 7 years. Yeah. So could you imagine me? No.
It's funny, right? And something that seemed natural.
It's ludicrous.
Yes.
It's ludicrous now. Yes.
For a while, that was a given, right? That seemed like a natural way. And today it seems ridiculous. There's no way. There's no way. No way. And and it's so interesting because you'll talk to people, you'll mention, and they come up with a list. Did you consider this? Did you consider this? Did you consider this? Did you consider this? I said, I've considered all of those things. I'm not going to worry about none of those things, because sometimes you worry about things that may not even happen. They don't even happen.
Look, you can slip and fall, and anywhere at home. So what am I going to sit in here and worry? I said, no, I mean, what I'm doing is getting myself strong. I definitely take care of myself. I'm hitting the gym, I'm training to make myself strong. Because when I was in Spain, I'll never forget, I was on a bus ride to Granada, and this lady must have been, she's got to be at least 75, at least. She was swinging those bags. I said to her, and I'm telling you, I said, Senora, I just never saw any. She says, well, who's going to do it for me? If I don't do it, who's going to do it? She said, that's right, I do it myself. And she was flipping those bags under the bus, pulling them out like nothing. And I said, oh, yes. And that's what I did learn is you have to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, but you also have to prepare yourself physically. Mm-hmm. I definitely believe that, because we only get one body. So you definitely got to take care of it too, because you can only do those things if you have a strong body and a healthy body. And so I focus on that to prepare me. So I'm also been working on, and that was another goal, is I wanted to get myself stronger so that, to be able to do that, because it does make a huge difference, pulling those bags, putting them on. Yeah, huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is one thing that you know now that you didn't know before this new way of thinking that you'd like all women over 60 to know today?
Gosh, there's so much. Usually when I talk to a lot of 60-year-olds, they're waiting for the grandchildren. And don't get me wrong, that's great. Don't get me wrong, that's great. But that should not be your goal. That could be part of it. Mm-hmm. You can still have a life after 60. Like life doesn't end for us when our children are gone. And okay, what do we do? Just be. There's still so much out there you can still live life. You can still dream. You can still, those dreams that you had are not gone. They were given to you there for a reason. There's sometimes they may not manifest the way you wanted them to manifest, or maybe it wasn't that season, but don't give up on them, because like I said, this is a dream that I never really talked to anybody about. I had other dreams, but this was one that like, yeah, whatever, but yeah. Then I came here and it's like, what? It's like, it's changed me totally. It's helped me to go to therapy and heal. It's caused me to get myself financially together. It's helped myself to get healthy. It's all of those things prepare me for my latter years to be the best years of my life. That's the way I'm looking at it. My latter years will be the best.
Good. That's amazing. It's amazing that like most people, like you said, are waiting for something else. My mom, I always hope no one ever hears this, but my mom always says that her retired friends, she's in her 70s, her retired friends when she lived in Florida were all waiting for like life to be good when they were in heaven, right? Like they weren't life today. They're waiting for the rewards to come in heaven. And so their life today is just sitting around waiting. And now my mom lives in Mexico. She's sitting around in the pool with her little 20-year-old friends. You know who you are. With little 20-year-old friends and a cocktail.
There you go. There you see. That's what I'm talking about.
What is this? What you doing, girl? Go home. It is your home. But like, why are you so social? Why are you so on the streets? What's happening? But it really is, for her, a completely different lifestyle than the one she had in Florida. And it's the lifestyle she wanted and didn't realize was accessible to her. And literally just moving. And I think what a lot of people miss, they think they're going to move abroad and be lonely. A lot of people miss that you're going to move abroad and be amongst people who think the same way you do.
Exactly.
You want a margarita and a pool on a sunny day. And so let's sit here and talk and chill for hours.
And just live life. One of the things as we're talking, one of the realizations I got is that most people here, we work 9 to 5. We come home and we prepare, basically, run the kids to all their little events, their sports and everything, or we prepare for the next day. We'll see our friends, we'll put them on the calendar, and, hopefully we'll see them on the weekend. We try to fit them on the calendar. When I was out in Spain and multiple places, I'm seeing couples out to dinner at 8:00 at night on a work day. And so I'm asking them, I was like, don't you have to go to work tomorrow? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what? but aren't you tired? No, you go to sleep and you get up and you go to you. They live life every day. They don't live life on the weekends. They don't live life on vacations. They don't live life, for holidays. They enjoy life every day. They don't live to work.
That's
Right.
right.
They work to live, to do the life that they want.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I believe travel overseas gives you the life that you want. And it doesn't matter whether you want a beach life, you want a city life. Because I thought I wanted a beach life. No, I want a city life. I want to be, because my thing is, I don't want to, I drive a lot. I used to be a pharmacist. I used to be in sales before I was a teacher. And I don't want to drive. I want to be driven or have public transportation. So you can choose the life that you want. If you love nature, there's parts of the world that you can have that. So you can have the life that you want, much more affordable, a better quality, and enjoy meeting people who don't have the same mindset as here. Because I think here we're more focused on material things, and the house and the car and this and that. They're enjoying life. They do so much more traveling. It's just different. And it's a better, for me, it's the life that I want.
Right. I think a lot of people in other countries don't have to worry about all the things that are tied to the job in the US, right? Like healthcare, et cetera.
Right.
They know that if there's some kind of physical issue, if they get sick, it's not going to bankrupt them, right?
Correct.
Even with insurance, like it would in the US, even with insurance, it's bankrupt people. They know that they'll be taken care of in more countries than not around the world.
Absolutely. And good quality care.
It's good quality health care. And just being alive gives you the right to health care, which why isn't that a thing in the U.S. besides capitalism, right? Like that should be a thing in the U.S.
It's a circle. One feeds the other. Quality of the eating better and physical and walking and having is going to improve your health. I was around people that even people that were older, and they looked amazing. I was in Panama, and so my girlfriend's mother, so I stayed over one night, and we were playing cards. That woman beat me 5 times playing cards, and she was 89. I said, and she would say, "Did I win?" I'm like, "Senora, you won. You kicked my butt 5 times."
All the time you've been at work teaching people, she's been chilling and getting her card shark on.
Exactly. And so and she looks, her makeup done, her hair, her nails, everything. It's just a different life out there. And with the money that we make here, we will live very well there. We will live very well there.
I see that Francine asked if the summit is open to European Black people. It is open to Black women wherever you are in the world. Come through. Por favor, be a Black woman. Like people don't hear us.
S'il vous plaît.
Please. Yes. Don't try to sneak in like we won't see you.
Very little of the summit. I don't know that we have any session in the summit that is particular to like having a specific passport or being a resident of a specific country already. I don't think any of the sessions are not going to pertain to someone wherever she is from in the world. So we're going to talk about things in terms of dollars. Sometimes you're going to have to convert that to your currency. That's as complicated as it's going to get.
There may be someone like Krishan Wright from Black Global is talking to us about scouting trips. So maybe part of the conversation may be about how long you can stay in a country on a visa. And that's going to depend on having a US passport. But that's the easy Google search, right? Like there's a lot to translate to wherever you're from. That's right. But the speakers are so exciting. So exciting. Steph.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's talk.
I can't wait.
You want to talk about some speakers?
It's your turn. You're up.
Okay. So Okay, so we want to talk to you about some speakers. Anna, can you hang with us for a little
Yes,
bit?
absolutely.
Okay, girl.
I'm the ball.
Listen, we've been so enthralled. I've been so enthralled. We forgot to do one of the things that we said we were going to do. So we want to tell you about some speakers. I think we have a speaker that we can announce today that we haven't announced yet. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
There's someone new that we have not been able to announce yet. Maybe not. We are okay. So we have the theme of Exodus Summit 2023 is location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom for Black women. And tickets are at exodussummit.com. We have Libria Jones, as we've already talked about, coming to speak about using AI tools in your remote work search. If the difference between you living your life and not is just a job that doesn't care where you are in the world, then that's a session that's going to change everything. That's going to open up location freedom to you. And you can be like Anna and just be like, I'm going here, and then I'm going here, and then I'm going there. We have
Teen Zekas. I want to talk about Teen Zekas real quick. You talk about Teen Zekas real quick.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so teen is our secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why every Black woman in America does not know her name.
Yeah.
So y'all slipping. Yeah. We talked on this channel before to Danielle, yes, about her experience with teen. And her experience with teen was she saw her at the summit. Teen gave a talk. There were women of the summit who were like, before Teen's talk was over, I had an appointment. I had a meeting with my boss on the calendar to talk about getting a raise. And baby, I got that raise, right? Because Teen Zekas' whole thing is her company's called Getting Black Women Paid. And she wants Black women, if you're doing the work, if you already got the job, you don't want to quit the job, I want you to quit the job. Yeah. Teen wants you to get paid more to do the job because most Black women aren't getting paid what they're worth. That's right. Right? And so Teen's entire work is around getting Black women paid more. Danielle went from 80-something thousand to 190-something thousand. After a meeting with Teen. Mm-hmm. Over $100,000 more to do at a different company, but the same job.
She said she did less work.
Less work for twice as much money. Mm-hmm. Our secret weapon, you should be there to hear Teen talk. Mm-hmm. If you have a job, if you know you're underpaid, be in the room where it happens, right? Schedule the appointment. So the thing we always talk about at Exodus Summit is not just hearing the information, but taking action on the information. So when Teen gives you the tips, go ahead and schedule that meeting with your boss and be like, hey, dog, we need to talk.
That's right. And
have the talk following the points that Teen gives you because you're not getting paid enough. You're not getting paid enough.
While I know I said I didn't want to, but while have that talk with your boss while also getting your resume together so you can get the next job that's going to give you what you need to, give you more money, more money for less work. Right?
Yes, yes. Also on our docket, Jamila Safrant from Journey to Launch is talking about the different ways to calculate the amount of money you need for financial independence.
That's
right. We've been talking about this recently. And we talked about it with Krishan from Black Sit Global earlier today about how there's a big difference between looking at the amount of money in your account and feeling confident in the amount of money in your account. Mm-hmm. Confident it will last you as you travel, last you as you live. And so Jamila's going to help instill some confidence in us in the amount of money that we have and what we can do with that money. So I'm super excited for that talk.
That's right. We have Coach Tish coming in. Coach Tish is doing a session called Coaching Yourself to Freedom. So if you're one of the people who's been to Exodus Summit 2021, 22, you haven't done the thing yet, you haven't made your plan yet because you're fearful. You feel maybe like some sort of imposter syndrome or some sort of, fear about doing things. Coach Tish's session is for you. Coach Tish is here to teach you how to coach yourself, teach you how to get yourself through those feelings of like, I can't do it. This is not for me. Here's why this won't work for me, right? To transform from that to, okay, let me work on my plan. I deserve. We also have a session on healthcare abroad. We have a session, we have a panel on healthcare abroad. We have some women coming in to talk about their experiences with healthcare abroad. The session is called, the working title right now is Healthcare Abroad, a reason to leave the US, not a reason to stay. Healthcare, I think, is one of the main reasons that we should be looking for a new country, particularly those of us who are concerned about retirement for health expense reasons. If you're not retired right now because you're afraid of a healthcare emergency and what that would do for you, what that could do to you financially, I think the solution is just leave the country. Move to another country where healthcare is not going to put you in the poorhouse. So that's a panel discussion.
I want to pause real quick. I feel like healthcare is one of the biggest lies perpetrated on the American public.
Yeah.
By America.
Yeah.
Because every time we talk about healthcare, people are like, talk about the quality of healthcare in this country. It's better than the US and more accessible. Insert any blank country name in there. If they have clean running water, their healthcare is better than the US. Guaranteed.
What quality are you getting here? What quality?
You can't even see your doctor.
That's what I consistently get. Oh, what are you going to do about medical care? What are you going to do about healthcare? What are you going to do? I said, healthcare is affordable outside the US.
Good.
You know, but that's what my friend, she paid for her mother's surgery who had cancer, private hospital, the medication, the aftercare, everything. The surgery cost her $5,000. $5,000 at a private hospital.
That's like anesthesia in America. Maybe.
So, and she paid for out of pocket because she wanted to, not because they didn't have the means, but she wanted to. So,
okay, if that gagged you, it's true. It's true. Okay, we're going to talk to some women about healthcare abroad.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, we are talking to Erica Totten from To Live Unchained. It's one of my favorite talks. I don't have favorites, but I have some favorites. Okay, she's going to talk to us about the lies she had to unlearn before she could take a sabbatical, and during her sabbatical, so she could integrate some of her learnings into her everyday life, and why and how she takes a sabbatical every year. Every single year. She's an entrepreneur, and still she shuts down for months every year to say, I won't be working during this time. Thank you. Bill's going to get paid one way or another, but I won't be working. And it's something she's integrated in her life to make sure she has a really good quality of life as a mother, as a wife, all those things. And so I think a bunch of y'all could get some lessons from that one.
That's right. Are you sure we can't announce the person whose name is T and then P and then the P is a long name, two names together?
Girl, there's a private chat right there. Just go ahead and drop it in because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. I don't know how to find it. All right. So of course I'll be talking about house sitting. House sitting opened me up to location freedom, right? House sitting opened up the world to me. Being able to get free accommodation anywhere in the world means that I don't have to work. It means I don't have to make work the center of my life. I can work to get, when you only need to really feed yourself, pay your insurance, which abroad is not really, really high, pay for your phone. It means that work doesn't get to be the boss of you. It means that work doesn't get to be the focus of your life. And so I'm talking house sitting at the summit. We also have a session, thank you. We also have a session coming up on how to remove delegate some of the responsibilities in your life, how to delegate them. There are some things that you're doing in your everyday life, household, maybe at work. We're talking about how to get some of these responsibilities off your plate to free up some time. Free time, time freedom is going to give you the clarity that you need to know what you want. So maybe you're hearing Anna and you're saying, it's amazing that she knew that she wanted to travel. She just didn't know it was possible. But I don't even know what I actually want. Okay?
You don't have the time to think about what you want because you're doing laundry, the dishes, you're cleaning up the bathroom.
Busy.
You don't talk about getting yourself some free time because your mental health would not be at its best until you have not some future free time. You need free time today. You need time to think today, time to dream today. And so we're going to talk about that in that session that I totally forgot that name in 2 hours. Totally blanked on it.
Listen, it's a busy period. It's summit season. It's busy. We busy. We listen, Rashida, I do not enjoy working like that.
Work every day.
We do it for you. The least you could do was come to the summit. Right?
Thank you.
We also have another speaker named Stephanie Perry who will be talking. This is a new session to announce that you guys have not heard of yet. She's talking about house sitting, but she's also talking about traveling on a budget or in luxury and the different experiences you get from that. Some of the costs you can expect, what to do. Let me tell y'all, I took my mama on a first class flight in Europe. And I said I think when we were checking in, I was like, okay, but where's the first class security line? And my mom was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, the line for people, the special security line for the people who are flying first class. And she didn't know that was a thing. She didn't know that was a thing. And I was like, let me put you on game outside of America.
Yes.
If you have a business class or first class ticket, you're not waiting in line with other people.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, how do I go? I don't go back to regular anymore. I was like, no, I get it. So our guest speaker, Stephanie Perry, is going to tell you how to do hostels, right? In a way that feel good, like Anna was talking about right now, and what you get from the luxury travel experience. You know, not waiting security line might not mean anything to you, but I don't like being around all them people. So I am a big empath. I always observe people's energy. And when people are tense, I hate being around tense people.
Yeah.
And so I pay my way out of situations where I'm going to be around a lot of tense people. I can't wait at the gate. My own gate for my own flight, all the people getting anxious at the same time, I won't be there. I'll be somewhere else. I'm so sorry. I pay my way out of it. Stephanie's going to tell you how to do that.
Yes.
At the summit.
Yes.
It's going to be good.
All right. You haven't mentioned either one of your sessions. Rashida, which one do you want me to tell them about?
Tell them both, I guess.
So, you know, Rashida Dow's a career break coach, and you know this because Anna was in her program From Burnout to Bliss. Rashida is coming in to teach you how to plan a career break, right? Not how to dream about taking a career break, not how to wish you could take a career break, how you, friend, can plan a career break. Rashida is also coming in to talk to you about some financial things. I don't want to call them pitfalls, financial things that people don't plan for when they're moving abroad. Some things that can send people into a tizzy, get people all up in arms, where if you had planned for it or at least been aware that it was going to happen, you would be in a better position. We got to come up. I don't know that we have a real working title for this session.
No, we decided on it recently.
But
it's
important because we see people move abroad, get into their new country, and then something happens. Of the currency fluctuates, the stock market fluctuates, right? And they start to just panic and then make terrible financial decisions for their future. So Rashida's coming in to stop that. Stop it. Okay. She's coming in to at you. Okay. So those are the two sessions that Rashida is teaching, at least two that Rashida is doing. Those are Rashida's two sessions in Exodus Summit 2023. I don't think we've ever mentioned is we do have a decluttering. We have Kristen Ivy, who is a Marie Kondo certified coach in this space, coming to talk about decluttering.
One of the few Black KonMari certified organizers is coming in to be like, okay, she told me I can still own stuff.
Yes.
Y'all know who I am versus who Stephanie is. She has told me it's okay for me to own my things. But we talked about, organizing and decluttering, and if I want to get rid of things, the way to do it. So when I first talked to her, I was like, girl, I don't know. You going to tell me to get rid of all my shoes? She didn't. And so she's legit. For all of you maximalists out there, you don't have to skip this session. It's going to help you, and all the minimalists, she's going to get y'all in line. Y'all going to get ready to go, because this is one of the hardest steps to get past, the getting ready to go, a decluttering session, because we love you.
Yes. And we don't want your things to hold you back. Your things could either hold you where you are, or you could move into a new life, but still have all those things back, in your old life, and they just weigh you down, right? We don't want that for you. Okay.
Okay. Is it time for us to talk about some keynotes?
Oh, yes. I see this question. Oh, I don't know. It just says Facebook user here. I see your question. One more thing. No, none of the sessions happen at the same time, even though the schedule right now has some sessions at the same time. Those are just dummy times. I put a lot of things at midnight on the 7th, I think, just because there was no other way for that platform to show you the session unless I put in a fake time. But the actual calendar will be done soon, very soon. So no, none of the sessions overlap. You get access to the sessions, each and every one. Rashida and I will be at each and every one, and we don't know. We hope to see you in most. You don't need to come to everyone. Some sessions won't apply, but we hope to see you.
The people who've already attended the session, the summit, I know are going to be in every one, because they're going to be talking to each other. They're going to be in the comments talking to each other, and not to us. Not to the guests, not to us. We get it. We know who you are. We know who our people are. It's okay. It's like a family reunion, a big old party.
Yeah.
And we have some special headliners, some keynotes for our party on Friday evening, which is the kickoff of the summit. We're going to hear from Octavia Rahim, who's going to lead us in a guided rest session. She's going to teach us how to incorporate rest into our daily lives, and to have a good, the word I'm looking for?
Rest practice.
We'll go with that. Yes. So I'm excited about that. On Saturday, Rachel Cargill is coming to talk to us about living a life in which you're able to care for others because you've cared for yourself. Because you need to hear that too.
That's right.
Your mama need to hear it too, because she's not caring for herself. She's caring for the whole family.
Yeah.
Anna needed to hear that too. I know. But yeah. Sunday, I'm gonna kick it to you, Steph.
Sunday, Dr. Joy Harden Bradford, the founder of Therapy for Black Girls, is coming in to talk to us about sisterhood. Her newest book is called Sisterhood Heals. If you've been with us for even a day, you know that community is we think community is the difference maker in you getting what you want out of your life, whether that is move abroad or taking a sabbatical or something else completely different. And so we're going to talk with Dr. Joy about how sisterhood can help us elevate our lives to a place where we can actually get the things that we want for ourselves. How we can use sisterhood instead of how we can get rid of this Black woman. I have to do it on my own. I have to be the strong Black woman, and I have to do everything on my own. And I don't have a community looking out for me. There's no one around me supporting me, right? How we can let go of all of that, shed it all, unlearn it all, throw it away, burn it, and how we can build and rely on a sisterhood that will sustain us.
And on Monday, Steph, back to you.
Oh, Monday. Okay, so finishing things up, Tabitha Brown is our final keynote speaker. Tabitha Brown is a person that I think most of us feel like is our friend. And so it'll be really exciting to get to sit and talk with her. She's a woman who has held on to a dream for herself, even when people, I'm sure everyone, right? People in general just told her, ridiculous, give it up. Right? Give it up. It's not going to happen. She held a dream for herself and for her family, and she's living it out, and she's living it out loud, without shame, without let me hide my light under a bushel. Okay. So we're going to, after an entire weekend of you getting some space, getting some clarity, putting some plans on paper. Tabitha Brown is going to come and finish us. Finish us is not a video game, but she's going to finish us by helping us expand, or helping us to learn to live expansively. Her session, I think, is going to be about expansive living, expansive dreaming, holding on to a dream and living it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
All right. ExodusSummit.com.
ExodusSummit.com. It's 3 days. It is 18 regular sessions and then 4 kind of keynote slash bonus sessions. Now, those keynote sessions are only available to people who buy the all access pass. But Anna said, stop playing around. Earlier, you heard her say,
buy that ticket, buy that VIP.
The first year. And then she was like, nah, I need to upgrade. You need to upgrade. If you have a weekend pass, what you get on the all access pass that you don't get on the weekend pass is you get a full year of replays. On the weekend pass, you get a month, which is more generous than almost any other summit you'll see. Most times it's like you can watch a replay until after the summit is over, or maybe a week. We give you a month because we know it's a lot of information to get in. But if you want to continue, if you want to watch this stuff more than once, allow yourself an opportunity to watch it for a year. So there's going to be, you might want to do a job search again, and you might want Librea's talk. We do not sell these things as one-offs. You got to get the replay for the year to see them all. You also get access to the keynote speakers. If you have the all access pass, you do not get access on the weekend pass. Last thing, we got 2 more things. Octavia Rahim is doing, I almost said Octavia Butler. Octavia Butler will not be here. Octavia Rahim is giving us 2 rest sessions. One for everybody, including weekend pass holders, in the beginning of a session, and then a second follow-up rest session in November, right before Thanksgiving, right before your family comes to stress you out. She's gonna rest us.
That's right.
And then I just had it. Oh, we're gonna have, this is new. We're still working it out. We are going to have some breakout rooms, small group breakout rooms that are available for people who have the all access pass. They are going to be able to hang out with each other, right? Meet, hang out. Every year we have women who start accountability groups. Sometimes we foster it. Sometimes y'all do it without us. Sometimes y'all have a chat like, who else is moving to Turkey? And now you got 3 friends. We love it. It just pops up on us sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I met them all at the summit. And we're like, we don't get a chance to meet y'all at the summit. So those breakout rooms are going to be really amazing for getting in accountability groups, meeting people you want to meet, spending kind of that like small group time. Yeah. So we're very excited about them. They're all going to be about different topics. We don't have them all yet, but we will let you know when we have them. We'll probably have at least 1 or 2 kind of general rooms too. I'm saying this and Stephanie hasn't agreed to it yet. But why not? And so we're very, very excited about that. I'm gonna say something else. Okay. There may also be a dance party.
Oh, so yes. So friends, some of you need to look in this actual Facebook group. If you're in the Facebook group, some of you who do type things, you need to look for Amina's post because she sent out a call looking for some people to do something. Okay, look for Amina's post. If you're in the Facebook group, go to the featured tab at the very top. It'll say featured. One of the most recent posts from Amina. You might be, you don't know it yet, but you might very well be hosting a sort of thing during the summit. If you already do that thing, okay, please only reply if you already do that thing, okay?
Anita has reminded us that these are salons. We're having salons, yes. F Doctor, you said so the weekend pass holders get bare bones access, no small groups. I wouldn't call 18 sessions bare bones access, but you know, we all
use transformative.
It's transformative. But yes, no to small groups because we have limitations on Zooms. We're never trying to exclude people. Literally, to do all what we want to do, Zoom quoted me $26,000 just in Zoom fees.
All right.
So we're not doing that.
Everyone cannot be in a Zoom breakout room.
No. So we had to keep some things a little smaller.
Yeah.
And it's a natural division because we have you tagged as all access or weekend pass.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You come to these sessions, come to Exodus Summit with time and space to take things in, with the ability to take some notes, to get some concrete steps down on paper. Come with the openness to meet other women in the summit. And what you will leave with is transformation, right? Every year. When we leave Exodus Summit with transformation. Okay, that's not bare bones. All right.
I see someone asking about traveling with a pet. We will not have a session about traveling with a pet, but we will have sessions about traveling with your parents. I'm not saying anything. That was me not saying anything.
A couple of Krishan, we did not ask Krishan to speak about this, but if the Q&A goes well and we have time, Krishan just moved to Portugal with her dog.
Yes.
So it's
another speaker is traveling with their dog too. We just don't know who it is. We have not been focused on pets because that information can be so specific, and we want it can be specific to country, to airline, to all those different things. And so a lot of times you need to do research for your exact situation. Yeah. What kind of pet it is, how much they weigh, where you're moving them from, and where you're moving them to. So that's a little too specific for us to cover in a session like this. Okay. Adelia, Picky Girl Travels, has good videos on that on her channel. Krishan moved with a dog, and I see you got some answers from other people in the chat who are moving with pets. So I hope that was helpful.
Good. The dance right now, the internet says that we're having a happy hour. It's the dance party. I haven't changed the wording yet, but it's the party fiesta. The fiesta. Maybe for fiesta on there.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Exodus Summit, October 6th through 9, 2023. Any day now, you'll see the real schedule up, and we will email you, and we will post in the group that the real schedule is up and up. If it says time and date to be determined, that's real. That's the time. That means the time and date on that session is to be determined. If it doesn't say that, then that means that session is probably happening at that. I probably got it right, and that's probably when it's actually happening.
We might have a schedule by Monday.
Yeah.
Nice.
All our speakers confirmed.
Woo. Very soon.
After 7 long years.
Very soon. Okay. All right. So we've talked to Anna about how we changed her life. Okay.
Yes, you have. I've enjoyed this.
We talked to Anna. So thank you so much for coming on, Anna, and for talking to us about the ways that you have done what you could when you could, right? So you kept the job and you traveled in the summers. You made the most of your time, right? And then how you accelerated your retirement. You sped up your retirement so that you can just get to it, right? Let's get to it.
Yes, let's get it. Let's get started. Yes.
Yeah.
The people are asking how they can travel with you, how they can get in contact with you. Aurora just asked if you have a YouTube channel.
Me? No, this is my first time doing all of this stuff. I'm like, but I am on Instagram and I am on Facebook. So I have no group. I haven't started any of this. This is all new to me.
Anna, you say
what?
Her Instagram is private. Yeah, so don't say the name of your Instagram unless.
If you tell them how to contact you, know this is on the World Wide Web. It's not on YouTube where anyone can see it.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to put that information in the group,
I'll put it in the group.
On the internet.
Okay. Yes. Okay, got it. Thank you.
So that's all y'all watching this on YouTube. If you're a Black woman and you're not in the Facebook group yet, we're at facebook.com/community. It is where we post things that we don't want the entire internet to see.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Like Anna's contact information. So
you're not gonna have her kids talking about Who are
You
y'all?
got all these people. You got all these men reaching out to my mama. That's what it's gonna be.
Yes, exitsummit.com/community is our Facebook community for
Mhm.
Black women. Yes. Yeah. So, okay, that's good. That's good. We can share that information in there if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. That's perfect. I'm okay with that. As long as it's in that group. Yes, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't thinking this is going to be advertised all. I'm like, what? No, not everybody.
Yeah, no, we do this all the time. We know. We always get people being like, you can email me. And we're like, no, baby, not on the internet, not like that.
Uh-huh.
I'll put some stuff in your inbox you don't want to see.
No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
But thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed this. And I hope that I was helpful and encouraging or inspiring to somebody else who's still on the fence and not thinking they could do it, or should they attend the Exodus Summit, because you should attend the summit. And it may not, I will say, your first summit was in 20, right?
2020, yeah.
2020. So it really, then it was little by little, I started doing more and more and more, but I got the foundation there. So, and then I'm able to consistently go back and just, and learn from there and pull a lot of it. A lot of everything is just what the ladies taught me, what this summit has taught me. And it's been amazing. And I've done it for my daughter. I'm like, you do. She's like, saying, Mom, you inspired me. She says, ever since you went to that Exodus Summit, you've been traveling and you've inspired me to travel. I'm like, there we go. We gotta do our thing.
That's right.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
All right now. Well, thank you for being a light and being an unpaid ad. Like I said, I'm gonna slide you a peso or two the way you was talking about me, baby. Love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate when women give us the real, right? Like I feel like a lot of times online, we just see people talking and you don't know where the transformation comes from.
Exactly.
People tell you anything they want online.
Mm-hmm.
You've been honest and open with us. And we really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
We appreciate both of you. Thank you. Thank you for starting this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. We'll see you soon. If I don't see you then, I'll see you at our facial
at the summit. Yes. Oh yes, that too.
I'm looking for a reason to be in the streets. I see it. You said Colombia? I'll be there.
Yes. I need a face work buddy.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.